Innovative.
Innovative comedy.
Ready?
Yeah. Wait, no.
Okay, you ain't know me. I'm cool. Cam, the coolest motherfucker on the planet, and today I'm here with the homies, and we want to talk some shit and laugh.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, make sure you tap in with our website, www.theinnovativeculture.com. Follow us on Instagram at innovative.culture, and subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/innovativeculture. Who I got in the building with me today?
What's good? It's your boy Tony Grams here. Innovative comedy, innovative culture. So 101 episodes we in
101.
here. It's the start of the new ones and shit. So that shit's cool. Follow me on IG at Tony Grams, TONY_GRAMS, and shit. We getting it going.
Okay, the intros is fire. I like that. What's happening,
What you got
y'all?
for
It's
us?
your girl KBeautty with 2 T's. You know what I'm talking about. You can find me on all socials at KBeautty with 2 T's. KBeautty.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, KBeautty, why don't you just put the audience out there up on what you do and how you contribute to this whole content game and comedy game,
Okay, so I'm a content creator, entrepreneur as well. I act, model, do music, just all around entertainer. So I'm excited to be on here. I'm excited. I want to laugh. I'm ready to laugh. I'm ready to what? Talk some shit.
Talk some shit.
Yeah.
These niggas is talking shit.
They call now.
Yeah, I seen the little comedy, the stand-up comedy that y'all had. That was dope.
100th episode, yeah.
So is that gonna be like every so often? Y'all gonna do like an annual thing or what?
We try to for events for the 50th episode. We did a regular comedy.
That's
special.
annual, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
Low key.
Yeah.
And then that was 100. So try pretty much every
like-
event kind of big thing involving the podcast or people that have been on it.
Okay, yeah,
cool.
That's dope. I might have to hop on stage one day.
Hey, get up there,
See,
start fucking it up.
Yeah, a little
Hit that little choreography.
Yeah, that was Tony on the last one with the Afro beats and shit,
Gotta fuck it up. So it's been good. Shit.
What's going on in the world, Tony?
Shit, a lot of different stuff. The topics I be trying to keep up with, but I don't know, watching the finals. That's kind of
Who y'all going for?
I'm kind of rooting for Denver. Just because it's I feel like the people, whoever beat the Lakers should win. I hate to see people beat the Lakers and then lose. It's like you beat us for nothing.
Yeah.
Nigga, you should have let us
Exactly.
win. Nigga, we
That's
probably would have had a better chance.
That's how I used to feel about the Jazz. In the early 90s when Magic was still playing and the Jazz would always beat us and then lose to the Bulls. Or so it would just be like, what the fuck? Why y'all even go? Yeah, the Magic would have at least won one game. Y'all got swept. No, but just watching that, checking that out, and just different little podcast stuff I've been watching, keeping up with current events and just random stuff. I just watched this one with they brought up some old Cube interview where he was talking about why he he picked Chris or Mike Epps over Chris Tucker and kept Mike Epps, and just he felt that Chris Tucker wasn't as funny as Mike Epps as a pure comic.
Wow.
And it's a lot of people of course he gonna say that because it's if Mike Epps stayed in the franchise, you're gonna kind of go with whoever's still with the franchise.
I mean, but let's really talk about it. Who is funnier?
I feel Mike Epps is. At the time, Smokey made the role, Chris Tucker made the role, and it was a classic iconic role, but the rest of it, I don't know, as a comic, I do feel what he's saying, Mike Epps is kind of more funnier.
You gotta think about money talks.
No, he's talking about it as just, I think he's saying as a pure comic, stand-up, too.
But Chris Tucker, look back at his Def Comedy Jam. But
that's 93.
But just because he stopped, though, right?
There's niggas that wasn't even born when that came out that's in the club turning up, drinking Casamigos now. You see what I'm saying?
So you're saying, longevity.
Yeah, it's just
Okay, yeah, when we talk about it like that, but if you think about it, I was about to say Chris Rock. Chris Tucker, he's still doing what he needed to do.
He was just in Air, in the Air movement.
But that's what I'm saying. He shifted into
serious roles.
As far as stand-up, that stand-up shit ended in 94, 93. Yeah. Before, while Friday was coming out, he was still killing. He was killing it. It's not saying he was never funny. He was the funniest nigga at that. He was funny as hell. But if you ain't had... And his stand-up specials on Netflix since then was kind of
yeah, they kind of...
it's you watch them too, I'm waiting for the laugh. Because if I'm not a hater, man, this shit ain't going to be funny. I'm watching it to, And
Wait
then
till
and I'm like,
I get you.
and I'm like, damn, I've been laughing like waiting like 30 minutes, and it's
Yeah, it's
like,
not
damn, this shit
funny.
almost over. Like I felt like that kind of with Marlon Wayne's special, but it started and I was laughing for a good like 12 minutes straight. Then it kind of he was just kind of talking.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but it was like he kind of slowed down. Then it got funny again. So it's as far as Tucker, I don't think it's the same. Like
I think Mike Epps, more funny with a script.
that too.
You know, like I don't really think like.
But do you think he has a part to play in his scripts that's getting written? You think he do a lot of improv?
Oh, he definitely does a lot of improv because
Yeah.
I've seen his interview or his audition for Friday. A lot of the stuff wasn't even on the paper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
He was just shooting.
yeah, but in movies he is comedy. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Even if he have a 5-minute role or a whole movie, he is comedy. Like
That's right.
And even I just watched the interview with Richard Pryor's wife, and she was saying why she didn't want Mike Epps to play Richard Pryor because she said she feels he would make it more of like a caricature, like more because he's kind of so funny, or
Yeah, he can't be
and it's like
serious.
on the serious parts of his life, he probably wouldn't. She was just like she feels he would bring more of the comedic aspect, so that's why she doesn't want.
So if not him, like who would play him then?
They were talking about Nick Cannon.
no,
I mean, but you never know. Niggas didn't want.
Let's talk about Nick Cannon.
that wouldn't. I wouldn't go watch.
Wilding out.
Yeah.
That's what he's good
My
for.
nigga wilding out.
That's what
Hey.
he's good for though. He's definitely
Wow,
going strong.
My nigga got like baby mamas all
Wow.
over, but it's like it's okay for him because he can afford
to have babies.
to have babies. So like now where do you draw the line though, you know?
I mean, he probably want a whole like thing though. You know what I'm saying? Like he want his legacy to go on and on and on. Which
Because
I
he's
get.
saying because he got lupus and he could pass away soon or whatever. If it ain't soon, but he will. So he's kind of that.
So now
that
you
was
gonna have
another
all these
reason.
kids grow up with no father?
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of it is like, I mean, shit, they gonna be taken care of.
Then that's the thing though. So is that
It ain't
supposed
like they
to make it
broke without
okay?
it.
It's
It's
not.
like
But it ain't like they broke without like no guidance. Like you gonna, and he's still here. So that's the one thing. He is still
They
here.
definitely don't have guidance. He don't
He's
even have
in-
guidance.
yes.
He don't even. You got 4,
This
5,
nigga,
6.
this nigga wearing
baby
Louis
mamas.
Vuitton bulletproof vest and Sub-Zero man still.
Like, I'm
They got
sorry.
14 kids wearing Mortal Kombat face gear.
Yeah, you got to know when to stop. Come on now, like
Toasty.
when do you run out of sperm at this point? 'Cause dude,
Like, that nigga probably had like 20. He probably gonna like keep going. I feel like he just gonna keep doing it.
like what?
But I mean, he got 1,000 jobs. The nigga do work. He work hard.
He
but
does.
He grind.
Definitely give
And
him
respect. And then he gives other people opportunities and platforms.
Yeah, facts.
And that's what I feel he do deserve.
that was one of the biggest things with Wildin' Out, you know, and that show, you know, been running for a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when the homie, like when Spanky was saying before that shit started, he was like, "Man, he got this new show. I hope Spanky helped him start Wild It Out." And Spanky, that's why Spanky's on, I believe, the first 2 seasons. And then, like, I guess with Spanky's kind of like wild itself, like a Detroit nigga. So I guess he must have probably turned up on the wrong person or something.
That's the dude that always be showing his stomach.
He was little, yeah. And he was a little
on a
dude.
couple of new episodes.
Yeah, also he probably came back.
Yeah, he's skinny now, though.
Yeah, he lost a little weight and
Yeah.
shit. He be doing. I just seen him a couple like on his page. This nigga was at the Comedy Store like 2 weeks ago with Kanye in the hallway with him, like doing the old school like handshake photo. I'm like, this nigga Spanky and Kanye wearing a trash bag in a Comedy Store hallway. Nigga,
I didn't
like
even see that.
that shit's funny. But I was like, he's the first person that took me to a comedy club. And I remember he used to tell us, be like, yeah, Nick is a homie, and he fucking with Will Smith, and Will putting money into, like, he was really, you could tell when somebody's just trying to, like, talk and boast, and, but he was, like, really, like, they had a game plan, and he was like, it's gonna crack, and then maybe within the next year, while and now that started, and he was on that shit, and it was like,
And that was definitely like,
And
I
that
could
was
see
like
Nick
03.
Cannon
That was
running
03,
with
04.
Will Smith's blueprint, you know?
Because he said it was like
I'm
DreamWorks.
gonna start doing my raps without
Yeah,
cussing,
yeah.
you know, I'm gonna do the TV. I could see that.
That's how they were looking at him, like he was a new Will. Because that's why Will was fucking with him, and DreamWorks had got behind him. So like he was telling us all this back in 03. Like I wasn't even thinking about comedy. I was still like literally was on the hood just chilling. Like we
On
just,
the block.
literally in the backyard
All
sitting-
day.
This nigga, we rolling
By
lunch.
myself.
This nigga sitting on the weight bench telling us this, and we rolling up like, oh for real? Like niggas are shooting dice. Like we really in the back. We outside.
Like,
and-
I'm listening, but I ain't
yeah,
listening.
because I'm not. That wasn't my. I was like 21 probably. So I'm
In
like,
03?
yeah, I'm 41. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Damn. You got to do the big job. Damn.
Yeah, that's like a running joke we got on the show. You
Like
know?
the oldest nigga in the Crazy studio walls.
Oh my goodness.
But it's just like but it took that long. I think I started doing comedy like about almost 5 years now.
I was just about to ask, too.
So it's been like cool, but I was doing music and I met a lot of people, and even with comedy, I met a lot of people, and kind of shit crosses over. So
What was the biggest crowd you performed in front of?
musically, or
Oh, you do music too?
well, I used to before I did comedy. I just kind
So
of.
have you had a bigger crowd for music or for comedy? Let's start with that one.
I think I'll just say with music, the biggest crowd I did a show in Texas, and that shit was like that was a good like 400, maybe 500 people. And like that's the shit on YouTube. The whole like that shit was cracking, and niggas knew the words to the songs. That shit was.
That's dope.
It was like when you get that energy or that fuel to keep going. Like we went out there just to do some shit for the homies, like Bike Club, and we had already had a song, and we out there at the day of the show. Well, we were already out there, but earlier in the day before the show, we chilling, rolling up, and I asked the nigga for a lighter, and then he like, oh yeah, you came with the Bike Club from another, because there was so many different clubs, but they are all the same club, but from different chapters. So I was like, no, I'm with the other homie. We from LA, but you know, we out here, and he kind of looked like you the nigga from YouTube. And I'm like, nigga from YouTube, nigga, I got like 2,000 views, probably my highest video, and that shit was cracking. They really knew the music, and so they was
2000
really,
was probably all from down there.
yeah, exactly. He said like, nigga, I watch this shit every day. Like I watch this shit getting ready. Damn. And that nigga, he was like, make sure like I want to take pictures. And when we did the video is on you. He's in the front row. Every word, the nigga knew and then we pull him on stage. That nigga like. Nigga fucking it up with us. That nigga knew every word to the song, and that shit was just dope.
That's why I tell niggas, you gotta travel.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta touch
definitely.
different places, because you may have a whole fan
And
base
you
down
know-
there,
and
and
not
niggas
know.
Never know.
And you just thinking I'm just grinding it, but people are looking at that grind as that's your work.
Yeah.
And so your grind is your work. That's your resume. That's your look. This is what I do. This is what I'm doing.
You know what I mean?
So when people see that shit and they like, and it was just that shit was like I said, it's energy to keep going. Like damn nigga, you really, damn y'all niggas really. It wasn't no IG back then. This was like I want to say like 2011. So it was just like Facebook little shit, and I wish I would have got all them niggas hooked, because they
I think
was
that
like,
was like when IG was first.
it was just starting.
Yeah.
I wasn't on shit like that. I was barely wanting to make a Facebook.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be like online.
Because you was still older at that time.
Yeah, I was,
nigga.
exactly. I was like
You know, the old
27.
folks be stuck
I
in their
was.
ways.
I was always the older homie, like but like I was like 27, and the other homies is like 24, 25. So I'm still like just a little, but I'm like I don't be on the internet like that and posting my business and shit, and then. And it is what it is now with every fucking thing. But
The thing is, it's like you in the field now to where nigga your business got to be out there.
You
Yeah.
have to be.
And that's the thing.
Definitely.
That's a question I want to ask you, KBeautty. It's like you posting content all the time, you making content all the time, but it's a lot of the shit is like, you know, it's your real life.
Yeah.
So how do you decide like how much of your life that you put out there and how much you keep to yourself?
I don't. I feel like whatever is good content, I just put it out. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, a lot of people don't even know what real is. So I feel like I try to show that as much as I can. You feel me? So I feel like a lot of people, they look at me and be like, oh, she popping, she stuck up, da da da. And I'll be like I'm chilling. You feel me? Like you don't even know the half of it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think that'd
So-
be people insecurities.
Yeah,
like, that's
but
all.
I really don't. I don't think about it. I really don't. I just get in front of the camera, do what I need to do, and go about my day. You know, like somebody gonna like it. If you don't, oh well. Like
Bitch, I know somebody like it.
no, for real. Don't you worry about it. Bitch. Somebody
Then Pops walked in, like the way you got that
Hey,
lined
look
up.
at that,
there.
look at that, look
You
at
know what I'm
that.
saying?
Oh, she was like, oh.
You feel me?
She was
They don't
I knew.
like it, but Pops like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I don't know, but a lot of people, I can definitely see where people be coming from, not want to put their business out there, not want to be in front of. No, I'm good. Not want to be in front of the camera and none of that, but it's the life you chose.
Yeah,
You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
I remember I had to make, when I was about a year into comedy, when I was like, oh, I got to make my IG like public. And I'm like, of course, no. I'm like, nobody know who I am. And ain't nobody came to see you, Otis. Like, for real, that's all.
Hey,
like,
niggas be feeling like that,
Yeah,
right?
like, nobody-
Until you start getting like
and
the
like
feedback,
all
you know?
and I was like looking, and I started the followers and all that, and it's not even a large amount. It was just the who follows me of that 1,800
Yeah.
people, and I'm like, it's motherfuckers with 100,000 followers that
Nigga
was
had
like
Kid from
y-
Kid and
Kid
Play
from
follow.
Kid and Play followed
Yeah.
me, and like I'm like niggas would kill for probably 100 of my followers
Yeah.
that have 70,000 followers or something. And I'm like, I take that as the quality over the quantity.
No, facts.
And but when I made it public, I start seeing, because people would tell me, like, nigga, your stories be funny as fuck. Like, I want to share your shit. I can never share your posts or your stories. And I had multiple, like, comics tell me that, but, like, older comics, niggas I didn't watch on TV when I was, like, 13 and shit on Comic View. And these niggas is telling me they want to share my story. Like, I told you, I had fucking Seal watching my story.
Wow.
Fucking Kissed by a Rose. I'm like, nigga, this is, like, what the fuck? That's random to me, fucking Seal just watching my stories. Like, so it's a good part of it, other than the Cash App scammers and the,
for real,
like,
and the hackers.
yeah, that's the only like weird part, and the fuck bots.
I'm happy you brought that up
robots,
too,
not the
because
robots, the
that
robots.
takes us to another topic. That's another question I wanted to ask. I know you got all of these followers and everything, right? It's like, how do you weed out all of these messages and shit that you get, and like people trying to book
God,
you
you
for
look so
shit,
good.
things like that? It's like, how do you know, like, all right,
Fire
I'm
emojis.
gonna accept this one because this might be some legit shit.
Fire
How do you
emojis.
decide?
You bad fire
At the end of the
emojis.
day, people gonna show their colors before I even could weed out the weirdos. You feel me?
That's real
if you
shit.
send me a message talking about some, hey, beautiful, I like your lips, they look nice.
Yeah,
But can
like-
you
I
come
already see
out
what
to
time
this
you on.
event?
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm not coming to
God
nothing.
damn, you looking good. So look, here's the
I'm
invite.
already
Like,
uncomfortable. Like, you feel me?
here's
So
the
it's like,
invite. I ain't coming to no warehouse.
I feel like at the end of the day, God gonna reveal that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Before I even have to. A lot of them be in my request box, and I'll be looking at them
Yeah.
like, you're not messaging me this right now.
Nigga
You're
inviting you to that rave from the first Blade.
Like,
When Blade come on and they in that warehouse, everybody just dancing. That's
I'm
where you
like,
getting sent, nigga. That's like,
I'm
good.
cool, but I'm telling you, I've heard it all. Well, I be thinking I heard it all, and then they hit me with it something new, and I'll be like, dang, I can't believe it. They be some weirdos, females be bold nowadays. They be in my inbox too, and I'll be like, this is
What
a
it
lot.
do?
Yeah, this is a lot.
Like, you look like Manny Fresh.
Like, I'm okay, young ma. I know, young ma.
Ooh.
No, thank you, Missy
Nah,
Elliott.
fucking little Dage loaf gonna hit you like it was good.
No,
It's gonna be the little awkward Dage loaf.
They be out there looking like Oprah
Meatloaf.
Winfrey. I'll be like, I'm good.
Banana loaf. It ain't gonna be Dage loaf. That's beige loaf.
Nah, well, me and Tony both had like a the same one. That
Oh,
was
Rashawn the black woman? Black
Rashonda Blackman.
Yeah,
that was the
Rashonda
name,
Blackman.
and it was. We could tell it was
I
a
think
bot.
she hit up foolish too.
Yeah,
She
it
hit up a
was.
couple.
Oh, y'all
I
had
think
the same
Brandon. I
girl
think
hitting y'all
Brandon.
It was like,
It was like an old
hey,
black
handsome,
woman profile.
how you doing? Where you stay? Like
What's
all
your
those
address?
comments and messages
Like,
and
some
shit.
weirdo shit. Like, ain't nobody just gonna be like, here my address. Pull
No,
up.
for real. I be having a white man talking about, I'm in need of a sugar baby.
Oh, I've
be
had that.
like,
I've had that one from.
nope.
I'm looking for, and it's an old white woman.
Yeah,
I'm looking
nope.
for a
Nah,
sugar
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
I'll send you $5,000 a week.
And this
be sounding good.
Yeah,
You got me fucked up.
they gonna be like, here, what's your cash app? Like,
I be
that's
like,
the first thing they
please,
gonna
man.
ask. Now log out and log back in,
You try to log
and now
back
your
in,
page
like,
is
fuck,
gone.
man, like,
Hey, there's all kind
didn't
of.
mean
All of a
to,
sudden, you a
man.
trader. You a forex trader and shit. They got pictures of you pointing at a board that you never even took. Like, nigga, how'd they get that? They
Pulling
got-
up in Benzes.
Yeah,
Fucking,
they
like,
did that. Like,
Yeah, they did.
They did that to the homie.
and you
like,
go on their profile, they living their best life. Like, what
when it's like,
is
it ain't even
this?
you. Like, nigga, can I get a percentage? Nigga?
Like,
They did that shit to the
sugar
homie.
baby.
Nigga, they took this nigga page. They start posting to the story like the new Benz. Like, yeah, God bless me. I got
You
a
can
new-
have one of
No,
these
yeah.
too.
Definitely.
the
Just got a
fresh
new
Benz.
range, like, nah.
And then they show he's shooting the video in the car, but she ain't showing nobody's face. It's just like they passing bags of weed. Like, man, you got the weed tray.
Like tap in right now.
yeah, we good. We living right
They
now.
trying to
And I'm
trying
like,
to
we
think of
know
a
this
whole
nigga.
new way to get you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's crazy.
It's really, but I always say what I don't like though is how Instagram allows that.
No,
the
for
fact that
real.
Instagram, that's like low key.
Well,
they
what
still
it is,
niggas-
it's a whole chain of events, right? It's like they get into your Instagram, right? But once they get into your Instagram, now they get your Gmail. Now they get your Gmail. Now they getting access to all your accounts
Wow.
because you got all these logins saved to your Gmail.
Wow. That's scary.
and then they get your Cash App. So it's like, nigga, that's federal. That's fraud.
That's
That's
fraud.
a federal
But now,
fraud.
getting all those passwords, they can break into your bank account.
Everything.
They can
See?
get your
But
money.
so you could do that on Instagram, but I can't call a motherfucker a bitch ass nigga if he say some weird
That
shit.
part.
I'll
And now
literally
I'm
lose
blocked
my
from going
page for
live.
3 months. I call Charleston White a bitch ass
you
nigga. I lost
got
my page.
no.
for 3
You called
months.
him a faceless throat.
No, I called the nigga. That was the first time I got kicked
What?
off. It was a nigga said some weird shit, and I was like, man, he didn't have a profile pic, and I was like, nigga, you a faceless throat goat.
Oh my
and I got kicked off IG
and
for
that's
1
what
month.
happened when you argue with niggas in the comments.
They kicked me off for
real.
2 months. I mean, for 2 weeks for that, and then when I called Charleston White, and I didn't even call him.
My
I
nigga
just
shit
said,
was locked up for 90 days.
yeah, for third. That was the Charleston White
90
shit.
days.
I had to
Then
make
he was
another
in
page.
instant jail.
Literally for 3 months, I couldn't post. I just had to make another page. They let me make another one with my same email, but literally that was it.
At that point, you got to be a whole different person, Tony. You got to make a whole nother Gmail.
But you can scam motherfuckers out of their credit, they pictures, and that's just been going on IG for now about 4 years.
So I watched like the deep dives right on YouTube of like where they had the people who were scamming motherfuckers, you know, and they take them to federal because now this is all these different people from all these, you know, different countries and shit. You're taking their information. Yeah. But they show you the process of how they did it. And I'm like, damn, so you give a motherfucker access to your shit one time.
They get
everything.
You click that link one time, now they can get into all of this shit.
Now they're you.
Literally.
Now they're
and you wonder, that's
like
the new identity theft.
It's real identity theft. That shit before was just taking a card or
getting in somebody's mailbox.
Yeah,
or some shit
this
like
now
that.
is like I'm acting like you.
But people still doing that too. They still busting in the mailboxes, taking
definitely
checks.
Doing that. They still doing
I feel like
that.
that's like some Riverside shit. Like,
It's all over.
I know. I'm being an asshole. I just feel like niggas do that like
That's where I'm from,
and corduroy house shoes and like just be like, it's in your mailbox, nigga. It's like it is just
Nah, they only do it like around tax time or like when they know a stimulus check coming out. Yeah, it's like they checking the boxes. EDD, shit like that.
I'm meeting the mailman at the box, and you
yeah,
don't
you
even
just
have an
waiting for him on the
opportunity.
porch with a blunt, just watching like they're the
what?
truck. They're the truck.
when he coming
So
out,
when they come, you be like,
yeah, go and get
like
me
I
that.
got some. All right, I'll wait. Like, you just wait for him to hit the whole block and then come around your side.
They sure do
Right
be hitting
there.
mailboxes. I just recently heard people still be stealing tags off the car.
Yeah.
Like what?
That's why you got to put a slice in your shit, you know?
You got to slice your shit up.
I know, but look, when I went and got my tags, my dad was like, "Nah, they don't do that no more. You ain't got to worry about
fuck that.
I said, "Shit."
Yeah, niggas is still stealing tags.
Because I don't got time to be coming out.
I just seen niggas do it like when I was at the bar, in front of the bar, and niggas is trying to peel a tag off before somebody come out the bar.
That's
And I'm like, look at this nigga, really? You about to... Like, I ain't the police.
And that's the cold part. You at the bar, you start getting faded. You're not even gonna think about that.
At
shit.
all.
drive off.
It'd be the next day, like you at work or something.
Or you
like,
get blurred.
Where the fuck is my tags?
then you show them the registration. Like, yeah, my shit paid for it, bro.
Yeah,
like, what you mean?
talking about? No, sir, your tax say 09.
They gonna give you a fix-it ticket like a motherfucker though. They still gonna write it up.
Yeah,
Cause what, man? That is unfair.
that's wild.
Go find the nigga that took my tags. Like,
Yeah, exactly. You gonna find me. That's what they say. Police is always there.
There's gonna be
like,
somebody
not
around the
to
corner
stop
right
shit.
now that got some tags that ain't supposed to have them.
I'm surprised they don't sell tags. You know, like little bootlegs you sell the CDs.
Man.
Like what? That's
The
a
same
good
way it's a
look.
nigga out there to do fake IDs and shit. I'm pretty sure it's a nigga out there to do tags.
I gotta find them.
They
I
out there.
gotta find them.
They out there. Their
Definitely.
registration, you know, all that shit.
Everything. Oh, it's nothing new under the sun.
There's always a plug out there for something.
For something, no cap. Cause what? I need all the plugs for everything.
What's like one of the most like outrageous shit you ever heard? Like a plug come and say, "Oh, I got, you know, you ever need this? I got this." Like something that's just wild.
I don't even know. I can't even tell you.
You know, it's always, you know, I got niggas walking down the street. I got weed. Woo, woo. You know, it be little shit like that, right? But I'm just saying some outrageous. It's like, bro, are you really asking me this right now? Like,
I know when I went to Mexico, they came up selling cocaine.
Oh wow.
And I couldn't believe it. I said, I was scared. I'm like,
I've
no,
seen
thank
people do
you.
that shit out here, and I'm like,
That's
are
a
you
mark.
really doing that shit on the street
Oh, my
right now?
goodness,
Like,
I
My uncle
bro, you must
said-
be real desperate. Like, you don't know how to be a corner boy, my nigga. Like,
My uncle said when he went to Colombia, like the cab drivers sell it. And he was like from the airport to the hotel, the cab because it's legal. Like
I'm
that. He's like the
telling you.
cab driver's like "You coke, like over the seat, like
Wow.
literally pushing the cab. So
And they be doing it so smooth. They'll walk past you like, yeah, cocaine. Like, you got to double back, like, huh? Like,
nah, I've seen like got that white girl, got that white girl. Like
they do that on the strip though.
yeah.
They be doing that. On the strip.
I was in like Orange County or some shit, bro. Like I'm telling you, it was an event going on.
I'd be offended. Like, do it look like I do that? Like,
That's how local it was, you know.
Wow, that's just crazy.
That's some other shit.
Cocaine is crazy.
I've had motherfuckers.
Y'all just too open, you know. Like why are y'all so open with that shit?
Like now everybody just doing it. You get coke. You get coke. Like,
what Cat Williams said, niggas like, nigga, I can see you. Nigga, just,
no, for real.
Niggas is just like. It's like, look at you, just like, wipe your face off, but nigga, just tripping.
Got the little
you doing too much, my nigga. Like,
I can remember when it just became, because I thought it went, I've never done it in my life, but I can remember when it went away, and I just thought nobody did.
That shit ain't never went away.
And then it was just
people was
and then I
so
started,
open with
I started working in the bar scenes, and like, I was like, oh shit.
And that's
like,
where it is. It's in the bars and
the
in
clubs, the after
people
hours.
Low key, though. Like
after
they'll go in
hours,
the bathroom, try to go do
real.
that shit in the stall, be low key, that type of shit. And it's like, I respected that because at least you're not in everybody's face.
That part.
It's like, why are you in niggas' faces now? Like,
they be right at the bar, line from here to here. Like,
yeah. And it's like what it is a lot of that shit, like the after hours, that's what it features. That's why it's the after hours. So it's like, come down here and do what you want, nigga. Like, you can smoke in this motherfucker. You
Whatever.
can
Get naked.
You can do bumps. You can strip. You can literally. There's a lot of after hours like that. You can get up here and do a song.
well, that's for the
do some comedy if you want.
What do they say when they on demon time?
Yeah, literally. I gotta say it like a whole person.
They on demon time.
Well, he came back last night around 4:50 a.m. I think they call that on demon time.
what do you call it? The young people call it
demon.
the devil. No,
the devil hour.
The demon.
They call it the devil hour.
That's like the sun is coming up and you still
outside
functioning. You feel me? Like
from dusk till dawn, nigga. Like, we out here. That's real shit. Like,
crazy.
that's what sometimes at the bar and they be like, you want to stay after? And they be drunk. Like, y'all niggas is here till like the
I already
bar
know
open.
what y'all about to do. You
already
feel
knowing.
me? I already know what type of party.
Parts of it. Oh, I got a random question. Would y'all ever go to a swinger party?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't think so.
You look like
in
you
my
would.
past
It'd
life.
just be like watching.
In my past life, I've been there.
In
your past life, you've been
like an actual past life or just back in the day?
Back in the day.
Okay, I was like, nigga, you was somebody, you was a little Indian man.
How old are y'all niggas?
I'm 35.
Okay.
I'm 35.
He like, I'm 52. Nigga just come out like, punch, come back in, I'm 47.
No,
like,
for real.
But I did a lot of shit like early to where it was like, you know, I was exposed to a lot of shit at a young age. So
how was it? Like, what was your mindset?
They was all. It was multiple experiences, and they was all different.
Wow.
And it was like, oh hell no, what the fuck is this?
Oh my God.
It was like, okay, I get it, but it's like, all right, I already see what the deal is, but
little chubby white
now
man
motherfuckers
ran up
got to
on
find a way to like sneak in, so it's not the same type of get down, you know? Yeah, I've talked about all these experiences on other podcasts, like
That's crazy.
But yeah,
that's wild. I don't know why that just came to my head, but definitely. You said, because you said what was the craziest thing someone has said or
they had to plug on swinger parties.
Nah, but I'm just saying, like, people really go there willingly. Like,
yeah.
Hey,
I
I'm
was
go
just
there.
Niggas get
on the
tickets.
news.
Motherfuckers get tickets and invites
They
and
be like
guest
exclusive
passes.
parties.
No,
all kind of
I
shit.
had somebody here on another podcast, you know, a couple months back, and they throw it's swinger parties, but they call them lifestyle parties. And the lifestyle parties is basically the same shit.
Yeah.
It's just that's the lifestyle that you're living when you pull up to that party.
Wow.
You ever I told you about my roommate and I seen his phone, the notifications, and it was like, so like I'm charging my shit and we had my phone on the counter. It's like if this plug right here, so everybody's phone right here charging. So while I'm on my phone, his phone, like, it lights up and it says like personal invite downtown LA T-girl parties. And I'm like,
T-girl, okay.
And
see,
so,
What is
and
that?
so I'm like,
You don't know
same
what a
thing.
T-girl is?
Look. So
Okay.
the first thought, what you think it is what it is. Because
I know. I know what it is.
Look. So my first thought, I'm like, T-girl. And I'm like, nah, this nigga. And then another notification comes in, exclusive T-girl parties. So he's getting notifications from like multiple events. And I just go, I don't even fuck with his phone. I just go sit down. And
You
I just
see 'em all popping up back to back.
So I Google and I could hear his shit still going off. He's like upstairs somewhere or whatever. I Google what is a T-girl? T-girl is a word used for transgender, tranny, this, that. I'm like,
that's crazy.
So I'm like, oh, this. So I'm like, okay,
Oh,
wait,
that's crazy.
yeah. So I'm like, we already had our like thoughts that this nigga was weird.
Oh, no.
It turned out that was what he was on. But they have parties.
Roommate.
It was
that
like,
was your roommate.
Yeah, but it was like three of us.
You know you went to some of the party.
No.
You was in the party.
Did he ever invite you to a party with him?
Never. The nigga didn't even like me. He was like a weird white dude. So he
kept to himself.
Yeah, and then when he tried to mingle, people would be like, "The fuck." Because he didn't smoke.
It be people like that, right?
No,
the ones that, all right, I'm gonna just pay for a room.
Exactly.
I'm gonna just, mind my business
Do
while
some
I'm
weird
here.
shit.
But then when they leave, you don't know what type of life they live.
They on demon time.
So that's what you gotta think about when you rent. Like if you got a house, right, and you rent a room to a motherfucker, like doing them ads and shit. And I don't know if a lot of people think about this shit. People do that shit all the time. They have extra space. They trying to make a little extra money. They just inviting a random motherfucker into their house.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck they do.
That's crazy.
And for them to like be in that situation trying to do that to begin with, I feel like that's a red flag already.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting on your couch and a nigga come out in a ball gag with a cat of nine tails.
Like, come on now.
That motherfucker got that shit in the briefcase, just sitting in that corner in the room, But it's like you don't really know. You always wondering what's in the briefcase. But you don't ever,
butt
so
plug.
secretive.
One day
I
it
got
just,
a butt plug and a whip, nigga, like some weird shit.
let's say one day you cleaning the house, you go around and that shit just fall open, and now all that shit fall out, and it's like
beads,
what is this motherfucker into?
How do you use
like in
this?
jails and the same roommate we found. Like it was a box, and so one day I'm in my room and he's gone. And the other roommate, she's like looking for shit. We had been there about a month, so it's still boxes here and there, like not like everywhere, but I can hear her looking through a box, and I hear her like, ew, like do this weird little scream. We go through the box. It's like restraints,
Wow.
like ball gags.
Like the
leather, like
padded
little,
handcuffs?
like little, like just leather, like it was a whole box.
What are ball gags?
Like the shit you see when they put it in their mouth and they strap it around their head.
Okay.
And he had one, like the little. So he was into some freak shit, and she found all kind of like lubes.
He was
and
probably a
oils.
gimp.
I felt like he was a weirdo. Like he was just weird. Like that nigga was weird.
Oh my goodness.
And he was just straight.
He was probably a professional gimp, bro.
What is a gimp? I'm so confused at all this
They the niggas
terminology.
that wear the whole leather suits with the
The
zipper
latex.
on the mouth.
Oh, when
and they
like
at the
on
ball.
Friday when the daddy opened the door.
Yeah, he was in a gimp suit,
like
and then he started whipping him with the cat of nine tail. He started whipping when he poured the oil on
That's
him first.
exactly
Then
my
whipped him.
goodness.
That he was in a gimp suit.
That's
so
crazy.
There's like they like to get like beat and tortured and punched.
But it's
on.
people out there who do that type of shit.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I'm
it's a
like-
lot of money in it for certain women. They be on that.
But
shit,
not
yeah.
just women though. It's like
Guys.
it's
Yeah,
fucking
dudes.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Everybody do. That's why I say like
stand in your drawers,
nothing-
all these
There's no
things.
really like gender when it comes to like the fucking way people are in the
Getting
world,
freaky.
right? It's like yeah, we know who we are, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's like everybody do the same shit, and it's
Yeah.
always somebody out there that's gonna pay for that shit.
Definitely.
Both male and female.
Definitely.
It's some crazy.
Well, how y'all
fucking-
feel about dang, who's that girl's name? I forgot her name, but she made a song and she said, "Now I'm eating his ass."
Yeah. Oh, Sukihana?
Yeah.
I already know. You can say anything.
You said Siziana?
Sukihana. And you can say any crazy shit, and I know a Suki.
How y'all
She
feel
the only
about
one that
that?
rap shit like that. Like I need some Henny and a Plan B.
So-
She had a song called "I Need Some."
Whoa.
That's the song she blew up off of. That what made her go viral like 3 years ago at least.
Okay,
I
so
need some
if
Henny and
you're
a
dealing
Plan
with a
B.
girl and she's into that, like she likes eating niggas' asses, like
That's not a. Nah,
Y'all saying no?
Nah, I'm good.
I'm not.
Nah, you
I'm
too-
not. I'm not looking to get my.
I don't know. I feel like y'all.
Cool.
Y'all
I'm
Twitter
old.
that.
I'm old. So that wasn't even on the in the diet. What is it? The mental Rolodex back in the day
That
when you
wasn't
trying
even
to
part
fuck
of-
and do some
yeah.
shit. And getting your ass, eating ass and getting your ass ate was like some that's not on the menu.
That's crazy.
And then like now that's like A1 motherfuckers is looking
I've
for that.
never been a nigga looking to get. I've
Get that
never.
salad
I've
talk.
never in my. I don't think that's ever crossed my mind.
I remember hearing a nigga talk about that on the train when I was like 17. I was on the train going up to Lancaster to see my cousins and shit. And like these niggas, they was hood niggas too. Like I'm pretty sure they was from Watts because the nigga was like, yeah, he kept saying some, yeah, nigga, I think he was from some Watts shit. I don't even want to put it out there.
You know, he said Watts on it somewhere.
But I know it's some shit. So he like, and they talking, and about like 30 minutes into the ride, I'm like in my little area on my seats, and they like it's about 3 of them. He talking, he like, yeah, I'm about to see my bitch. They about to just get my dick sucked, my balls, get my ass ate. And I remember hearing that, and this is like I want to say 98. And I remember like Like
Dang.
looking back, like this nigga just say his ass ate. Like what the fuck? So that
Or
to
what-
me, even then, I was.
What about when they like buy
the
the gooch? You don't like lift up a little bit?
I think that's as far as you
tank?
should go.
The tank.
You shouldn't go past there.
gooch.
That's as far as you should
Don't go over this bridge, baby.
Yeah.
Filthy tank taster.
It's there for a reason. Like that's
She's a tank
that's the
taster.
line. You know when they say you got to draw the line somewhere, that's the line.
The gooch
That's where it
giggler.
gotta.
The gooch giggler. The
is
tank
crazy.
taster.
'Cause
Like, I'm
what?
good.
Nah,
Like,
that's comedy.
That's
Anything
wild.
past that is unexpected. Like it's not.
It's like, ooh, hold on.
It's no
it's
man.
like,
Hey, get up from up there.
Yeah.
Fuck that. No man's land. This is restricted. This is Area 51.
That's restricted area.
This is Area
restricted
51.
airspace.
Caution
You
tape,
we
all
gonna send
right
the,
there.
We're gonna send the troops. You like you cross this line. It's war. This is not up for debate.
Oh my god.
But it's like I said, it's motherfuckers out there. Like you said, people have their own shits. They look for
Their
this,
preferences
and
for
that's what
me.
they. But I feel like too, this niggas out here, just like you saying, it's the dominatrix shit. Because that was always predominantly some female shit being a dominatrix, and I'm sure it's dude, whatever that do that shit now.
They have a different name. I can't tell you what it is right
but
now.
I feel like that's like it's niggas out here that you would see that's probably extra out balling with Benzes, chains. And you be like, oh, this nigga hustling or doing, and this nigga in his drawers beating an old white dude,
That's crazy.
oiled up. And but he like outside, he the nigga.
Yeah.
That's him. Like you know
Once
what I
he
mean.
close that
And
door.
he listening to Diana Ross whipping a nigga and wearing flip flops and calling Charlie. Daddy or something like I'm telling you like I've known of people like in high school that was like in high school you be like this nigga got like Cardi on, this nigga got Gucci
Okay,
and Fendi
okay.
in high school, and his parents ain't get
This goes to like now, right? We look in current times. I was watching this shit on YouTube. It was a deep dive on the people who go to Dubai and shit
Get
like
shitted
that. Now they
on.
getting shitted on, but all of
Yeah.
a sudden they get coming back with the bag. But they not talking about
At
getting
all.
shitted on and none of
but
that.
they
It's
shitting on
like,
people
what
in
if-
the clubs like fuck you, get out of my
Yeah.
this my VIP. They like extra out like looking down, they condescending.
They
on
talking
everybody.
about they got flown out there in Dubai.
Oh
They
my
out there riding
gosh.
camels and shit.
I can't.
on
I
yachts and shit.
But it's like, so what's the rest of the experience? What
Yeah,
else
what
is
else
going
is you
on while you
doing?
out there?
Oh my goodness.
for 2.5 weeks.
I was watching something and it was like this 304. She was getting interviewed and she says that some of her clients like to get shitted on.
Yeah, that's part of the dominatrix shit. That's part of that.
Like what?
So when we talk about getting
Being
asses ate
dominated
and all that, right?
They're
It's
talking about
like,
being dominated.
what if a motherfucker slip up? Oh, that tickle. And
Oh,
now
my
this, you know
oh
what I'm saying?
my,
You knew the
I,
job.
I don't want that type of shit on my conscience.
I'll come up crying like, nigga, what the
I
fuck?
don't want that type
Hey.
because it's like, oh, she gonna look at me different.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
You knew the
I
job
don't
was
think she gonna
dangerous
look at
when
me
you
the
took it.
same.
You knew the job was dangerous when you took it.
If you over here Putin while I'm down there,
Vladimir
this is
Putin.
crazy.
Right.
You knew it was coming. You should have told me, hey, hold on.
Like I get gassy when I get excited.
No. I'd be like, hey, you catch a nigga off guard, it might tickle a little bit, and then that, you know, like,
that sounded wet.
That did.
but
It
sure?
sounded
that's the
muffled.
sound I was going for.
It was wet and muffled. Like change your drawers, nigga. You done fucked up the whole.
Because you never
Fucked
know.
up for the day.
You never know what the fuck about to happen.
Hey, I would.
It
I
might
would
not go
probably-
your way.
It might not go your way.
I'm getting up. We're not finishing nothing. Don't call me. Don't text me. You gonna fuck around, give a nigga pink eye because you can't control your pooch.
That's what.
Oh my god.
Nah, I'm cool.
That's fucking crazy.
Not me.
That's wild.
Nah,
Yeah,
nah.
I mean, let's say this.
That's why I say it's a line you got to draw
You
somewhere.
pooted on somebody.
Nah, I haven't, but I'm afraid.
He was playing Nicki Minaj, shitted on him. Shitted on him.
You know, because you never know. It's like
It was in the background.
motherfuckers say, "Oh, it slipped," you know, and then it'd be a loud ass fucking, you know, everybody quiet, the whole room quiet, and
Or
then
it's
it'd be
super
a-
quiet and it just stink real. Like, what the fuck? It
Nah.
Like, what
Or
did he-
one of them farts that just work his way up like.
get magnified.
like,
Them envelopes.
It get louder as
One of
the
them-
end.
like, nigga, does your fart have ad libs on it?
This shit sound like a Swiss Beats track. Nigga, just
I'm like, nah. Ain't
that scissor,
No way.
like a hot one. Like, what's wrong with you?
Well, where's the coldest place you ever heard a fart? Like somebody just let one, and he like, damn. Like,
No, have you ever walked down an aisle at the grocery store and the person before that was on that
yeah.
aisle farted and you walk on that motherfucker like, and you don't even want nothing on
Y'all
that
nothing-
aisle.
niggas is
even
taking a
hungry.
deep breath as you walking down the aisle.
And And it's nice and cool in the store, so you enjoying that brisk, refreshing air.
Oh my goodness, that is the worst.
That shit is
like,
horrible.
how dare you?
That happened to me recently. Like about 2 weeks ago.
You got a whiff?
I was inside like Stater Brothers or
He
some
got
shit
the
like
gist.
that. Yeah. I caught secondhand.
And it don't be no ordinary smell. It'd be like, dude, what
It'd
did
be
you
like,
eat?
yeah, like you had to let that out right here.
Like it's been messing with you this
You
whole
gotta go
time.
shit after that. You
Oh,
definitely went to
you
go
probably
shit.
already did.
I'm like, you sick.
wearing
Like
diapers.
maybe you need to be.
You sick.
Yeah, you need to be at home.
You need to be.
goodness.
You need to be treated right now. There's something. No, drink some.
Because
some
it's gonna be
hot
something
liver.
cold that come behind it. You know,
need some
It's
fish
like,
oil
That's
in your
too
system,
much.
like some fish oil, some garlic. You know, some adobo,
Some garlic.
some garlic,
I
some
remember
adobo.
my
paprika.
brother told me this story. His roommate used to work at Aeropostale, right? So a customer came in there and shitted,
Oh my god.
scooted under the rack, called the store and told on herself.
Why didn't she ask if it was a bathroom?
She shitted in the store.
Why
And
didn't
just-
she
And
ask if it was
slid
a,
it
you know what I'm
underneath
saying?
the
Like, why would
rack.
Scooted on.
and how does she have enough time?
She pooted and scooted. Like tooted and she
Like-
pooted and scooted.
Like, I'm confused though. And then you gonna call and tell on yourself. Like, that's just crazy. So they watching the cameras and they see her do the whole nine.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I would have quit.
Hey, look, my coldest. I seen a little kid and his mama. Right, I was a little kid. I remember this story forever. Like, I'll never forget this shit because this is my first time ever seeing somebody else take a shit outside.
Wow. This nigga,
I guess they had got out of school, right? She was walking him home, and the kid had the shit. But I'm at my grandma's house, right? She lived next to this church. You know, it was in L.A.
Yeah.
It was a big ass dumpster. So I guess she tell her kid to shit on the other side of the dumpster. But I'm riding around on a bike, and I see the shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And she looked up at me. He looked up at me. I guess he got nervous or whatever.
That's why you
and
never
they took off.
forget it, because y'all made eye contact.
But I
Yeah,
went
they
back
look
and I
forever.
rolled past the dumpster,
They
right?
souls is entwined.
And I looked down and I'm like, oh, this dirty motherfucker.
You shitty booty boy.
Because you definitely didn't have nothing to wipe your ass with.
That's
Definitely.
shit.
Oh.
And you still got to walk the
He
rest
took a
of the
sock
way.
off. He used a sock. He
Little
had to.
kid having his booty out is crazy.
Crusty
I can't
booty.
even lie
Crusty
to you.
booty.
That's
Little
what?
crusty booty nigga.
And your mom's condoling this. Like,
Yeah. She out there
I'm
like,
cool.
just get it out. Get it all out right now.
Oh my
I'll give you a
goodness.
bath when we get home.
Couldn't hold it no
His
more.
booty
It was just
itching.
like it.
Walking home. Yo, you stinky
Well,
butt.
They was
They
in the
call it
alley
booty
next to the
itch.
dumpster, and
That's
she looking
crazy.
like, "Oh, this is a good place." Like, nah,
Nobody's gonna see you here, son.
Here I am. Here I come riding on the bike.
What's that, son? Like,
What's that?
Like, what you doing over there?
That's crusty.
It was like an Ezel moment. That was
Ain't
my
gonna tell
Ezel
nobody
moment.
else. Oh, I would never forget that either. That's comedy.
That's
'Cause
horrible.
what?
That's horrible.
I couldn't. I really couldn't.
Man, so what else? Let me see.
Y'all funny.
We're going through. I want to see it now. It's like the next subject is kind of like not funny, but I wanted to just touch on that. But it was like with DC Young Fly and his wife has
yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, that's like
No,
crazy, and
definitely.
it's just crazy. When I found out, I was like, "That's fucked up." Period. And then when I found out how, I was like, "Damn, getting a fucking makeover and shit like that's fucking."
Did
crazy.
that like reduce your like sensitive side, or you was like?
And I want to say like just me being me, and like I say how I feel, and it low key did. I want to say when I seen it, I was like, what the fuck, like, and it's not like you don't deserve sympathy and you're an asshole because you like nothing like that, but it did kind of like what the fuck, like why like people you already looked a certain way, maybe you want to look a certain, you're like I don't know, but it's like was that worth your fucking risking your life to try to like change something that's like weird.
Do you
like,
think it's gonna reduce females from getting all that stuff done now?
because I mean, look at Kanye mama. Look at fucking. It's a lot of people that went out like that, or the shit just went sideways and they look crazy, or they had to get it removed, or they had horror stories if you read their books and
That's crazy.
and women still. It's or the what was the transgender that was from Philly that was doing the butt shots in motels and with like Fix-A-Flat cement.
I
like, some
remember
type
it
of
was
gel,
one
and
named
she got, like 7
Pebbles,
years.
Pebbles
Somebody
the model.
died. Yeah.
I think it was maybe it was her. Pebbles the model. She was doing that shit, and
She got busted for it too. But another.
They all ended up getting put in prison.
Yeah, there was
They
a
fixed a
tranny.
flat for the tire.
Yeah, and it was a tranny that
They didn't go to Dr. Miami.
Yeah, they was going to like motels and like little Motel
Getting surgery
6s.
done.
Because somebody
even-
pulled up and said, I got the plug on it,
But
right?
it wasn't even surgery. It was
that
just shooting
part.
up. It was just
That
shooting
part.
up. Like
They was just injecting them with the shit.
Got
And
the
it's
2 for
fixed.
$5 for the BBLs.
Yeah.
Like what? Oh no.
And that's what I'm saying. The
$250.
weirdest shit. Like that was one of those weird situations where somebody said they had the plug on something.
Yeah, the lady died like a week or so after getting it, and then the tranny
Because their
got,
body
like,
can't handle that
the tranny
shit.
got like 7 years, maybe 6 years.
Oh my gosh.
Like, but they was, but he whatever did a bunch of motherfuckers. Like, but I guess she was the only one that died. But they were like, when they looked at the concoction, it was fix a flat, like some type of cement, like some type of gel.
Because it's the after effects,
and
right?
like
that shit ain't
silicone.
never gonna heal right.
Because it's toxic and
But
it eats away at the
cement-
flesh.
cement
So that's how they
though.
get those those big ass wounds and shit. Because that's
Yeah.
like you putting a toxic chemical in your body and it just starts eating away at the
my
live
gosh.
flesh. It's like this shit's like acid. So that's why you see it be all boiled and
Yeah.
sizzled out.
Getting
because-
cement in your booty, like you can't even go
But
swimming.
I think the girls didn't know. You just gonna sink.
you gonna sink every time.
But I don't think they knew. I think they was just thinking, oh, this motherfucker, some other homegirls probably did this and
Yeah.
they popping right now, or so let me get this little injection in the. But I seen that, I was like, damn.
But they gotta do it.
How-
It's like if you know this your homegirl, right, and she did it. Ask her how she did it. Don't try to take
Don't
the
try to just
shortcut
top it,
and be
yeah.
like, "Oh, I got it for half the
I
price
got
you
a
got it
flow.
for."
Nah, because a
And
lot
they-
of times the homegirl probably went with them to the hotel and they didn't ask no questions. Probably sat in the same room while you was
while
getting
he was
it
getting
done.
it done, talking,
it's
watching,
crazy.
recording it.
Booking your appointment.
Yeah, literally. And then it's like now you just gonna come back
And
and
that's
your,
the cold
your
part.
body
That's
ain't
why
gonna
they-
take like hers took.
That
Your
part.
immune system probably ain't what hers is, and to put fucking cement and fix a flat and like 5 other household products
flat.
in your fucking in a mix together, making some whole other
You're gonna
shit.
explode.
And she was
Everybody
putting it
built
in their
different
legs.
too, you know. It's like it's not always the same for everybody. You're not gonna get the same results as the same as the
Oh
next
my
person, you know.
goodness, fix
But
it.
that's no different. Even just like saying it for women, like with like dudes that be having them surgeries to try to be taller, and then they fuck
I've
themselves
seen
up,
that.
and they can't walk no more. Or they like in a wheelchair forever because they didn't broke
I've
their
seen
legs.
that.
And it's like, nigga, you wanted to be tall, now
So
you can't
bad.
even walk. Like that's what I'm saying. So is it worth like? Is that the risk you willing to take to just? To be like, and it's not who's to say it's more pretty, like you prettier now, or you.
Yeah.
A lot of times they be fucking themselves up worse than they was bomb before, and
No,
then it's
for
like,
real.
look at Lil Kim,
I
like
was
perfect
just
example.
about to say
Lil
that.
Kim was perfect.
Lil Kim
And it
was bomb.
And then it was just like, all right, you did the titties, you cool still. All right, you did a little more, you still cool, but you starting to do a little much. Then it was like, what
Now
the
they
fuck you
walking
tripping?
around looking like
you look like a
this.
little Asian lady at the swap meet. Like you got a boutique at the
She's like
Delamo.
a porcelain doll.
She look like she got a boutique at the Delamo.
I can't.
But shout out to Lil Kim though. I had the chance to meet her like right before all of that. Like, you know,
That's
that was
dope.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you did the Sky's the Limit video, didn't you?
I did that.
I
But then
remember
I
that.
also I opened for her in San Diego.
Okay. Oh, that's remember the yeah.
That was the last time I actually like saw her,
Yeah.
you know, and that was dope.
That's dope.
That was super dope.
But
I seen her in traffic once. Like for real, I was coming out of my job and like a Suburban with like big ass rims and a couple other cars behind it just went by, and I looked. There was a chick with like the long blonde. She was little because this was in like '99. She was still like Lil Kim, and I was like, nigga, that's Lil Kim. And they was hit La Cienega and was just like, I was like, oh shit, I was somewhere in Beverly Hills about to bounce somewhere. So
That's
yeah.
crazy.
What year was that?
Like '99. Like late '99, like mid '99.
Yeah, I was like 1 year old.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
was definitely one.
I was like 7. I was about to be like,
So,
like
yeah, so
18,
when they was talking about this
17.
was for the 99 and the 2000,
I
they was
just-
talking about you.
I just turned 18.
No, for real. 'Cause
That's
what?
crazy. For the 900.
2000s, yeah, definitely. 'Cause,
Yeah.
he
But
said what?
That bar has so much meaning, you know, and
Yeah.
people take that shit for granted. I'll be like, man, that shit meant a lot. That was like a whole shift in the culture of the generations
It
and
was.
shit.
That whole
Put it
era.
on from the 99
They was
to the
wearing wave
2000s.
caps and big t-shirts.
Big t-shirts.
Nigga, the Jabos, nigga, big
I was in the
Levi's.
5th grade when that
Headbands.
album came out. We went and bought that motherfucker.
I was like, shit, I was in like high school. I think I was just about to finish high school when 400 Degrees came out. I was like 12th grade. And I remember the funniest shit, always a story, every time I hear 400 Degrees, just high, I remember coming out of class. I was up in Hollywood. I was going to independent study at that time. So I walk out the building. And I walk up.
Look.
She's like, yeah.
I was going to independent.
I had to leave regular high school, and so I'm like, I'm walking.
What you do, nigga?
No, real shit. I checked myself out. I told my mom, I was like, I want to. I was because I didn't sound weird, but I felt like I felt like I'm not learning. I got a report card that I had like straight Fs, and I'm not a stupid nigga at all, like for real. And that shit made me like fuck this school.
So you were just saying fuck the teachers.
The teachers would come to class and just read like newspapers, and I'm like, I'm in class doing work. Turning into how the fuck do I get D's and F's and then so I was like I checked myself out of school for like a month, and then my mom just was like she found independent study in Hollywood. I went and did that shit, finished school in like a year. I finished the rest of 11th grade and 12th grade in like a year.
Wow.
Just because
So
was
you
like,
graduated before everybody else
it
that
was
you
like,
were supposed to graduate.
but they still wait and let you do the ceremony with everybody like from your.
But you didn't know none of them niggas because you didn't go to school with them.
No, I went from 9, 10, and half of 11.
I don't know, man.
So it was like
for me, I had to have the whole high school experience. Like I needed to feel like, all right, I'm playing sports. I got the homies. You walk with everybody. It's like, nigga, you making plans with all your friends after this shit. It's
did
like,
y'all go to your high school reunion?
Nah.
We didn't have one.
Oh,
I think I'm sure we had one, but I didn't. Most of them. I had a couple of most of my homies either moved away with families, went to jail, or died. It was like it wasn't like a lot of people. I'm sure other people did other shit.
I feel like somebody really got to take that on and put it together. You know, like maybe I could have done that shit, but I don't think at the time when it was supposed to happen, like I wasn't in a position to put that shit together.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But back, so what I was saying when I was I'm leaving the independent study and I'm walking out of class, remember, and it was like the independent study was in Little Armenia. It's like right on Hollywood and like Gramercy or some shit. And I remember I walking out and like I knew a couple of the dudes there, and it was this Armenian kid. He had to be about 16, 17. He's like leaning on the Benz. So he had like his grandpa's Benz. He was like, yeah, my grandpa let me drive it. It was like one of them old school, but it was nice as fuck. And he's like bumping like it's playing out the radio. He's like, Tony, what's up? And I'm like, I'm wired. I remember I was like ready to just go home. I was already like over some other shit. And I remember I stopped and looked at him, and he's like leaning at the Chicago Bulls like running suit with the white beater on with like 3 gold chains, like the like Armenian shit is. And he like, Tony, what's up? You like the car?
He was looking like Molly.
Literally like on his holy moly shit. And he like, you like the car? You hear that? There's Juvenile. 400 degrees. Ha! I swear to God, that's just like, I swear I never, and I remember I just looked at him and was like, and it just walked off like.
Nah, he wanted you to know. I know about this shit.
Exactly.
I know about
he was like, this Juvenile, 400 degrees. Ha! And I was just like, he was just like cool as fuck though, like leaning on the fence, and that shit was just knocking.
Hell yeah. After listening to that song, you gonna feel like that.
I remember it had only been out about a month, and I really wasn't fucking with it. And then what made me fuck with that shit was it was on Rap City one day, and I was listening to it, and I realized it was because of his accent, the New Orleans shit, that he's saying like, huh. Like, you going to the store, huh? Like, how we all talk. And it was like, it just clicked. I was like, nigga, this shit hard as fuck. Because I just thought he was saying ha after everything. And then when I really listened to it, I'm like, oh, that's okay. This shit is fly as fuck. And that shit was a classic.
Everything was a question.
Everything.
Everything in that song was a question.
That's you in that big body Benz, huh?
It's like every time this nigga was like writing a verse, he's talking to niggas.
Like,
he's asking niggas questions.
You grew up with them niggas, huh? You stuck with them niggas, huh? You don't fuck with them niggas, huh? Like, it was just.
I know a lot of niggas don't respect it, but a lot of times I put Juvenile in my top 5.
You keep your body clean, huh? You wear Javo jeans.
Because just from my era, like growing up, and like this is the music that kind of molded me and made me who. It's like, I was listening to a lot of this nigga shit because I respected the bars and the shit.
He got all, and it went with.
It
the
wasn't
time.
just talking about no bullshit. He was saying this is what I live.
Real G shit, G code shit. And what I always liked about Juvie, like when he would step away for however long he step away, he'd come back with a banger, and that becomes a staple. This nigga left and came back with Slow Motion. That's still, you see what he left with after Slow Motion came back.
From my mom.
Yeah, bounce back, and fucking what was the shit he had with Fat? He had one with like Fat Joe. Hey, my favorite shit he came back. It's probably a low key one, but it's the one with Currency.
This nigga son rapping now.
Yeah, what is it?
Lil Jude.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of BG
or
son.
Young Jude.
I'm thinking of BG son. I like BG son a little harder. It was LG. LV or something
like that.
Yeah, he get off though.
Everybody want to be young, little baby.
I think that's always just been some Southern shit though too.
That's just
like,
crazy.
Like out
I
here,
think that's them kind of
and,
going off their pop's name though too. Still like kind of.
Some people don't be having daddies; they still be little.
Yeah,
that's funny.
But that was a whole wave at one
Nigga
point.
grew.
Everybody wanted to be like young something or little
They don't
something.
have daddies and they
And,
still.
It's like, well, sir, you're about like 18, 19
Definitely.
years old. It's like, how long are you gonna be
baby.
little this
And
or young this? And
Like when little Bow Wow got older, he talking about I'm Bow Wow. No,
Yeah, that still
Little Bow
sound
Wow, like-
because it still sound like some kid shit.
Yeah,
what
like-
up, Bow Wow? That don't
he
sound
said, but I'm
hard.
gonna take the little off. Yeah.
Oh, you
Like,
big
no.
Bow Wow, like that just sound that's Snoop.
Yeah.
The
Lil
Big Bow
Romeo
Wow.
took the Lil off, and he was just Romeo.
'Cause that
It was
makes sense,
But
like-
but you had another Romeo from Immature. Remember, he had to change his
What was-
name
who did
to
he become?
Rome.
Yeah, that's what
He was just Young Rome.
Young
He had a
Rome.
patch
What
over
to
his
do?
eye and
Yeah.
shit.
That shit, that nigga was
Like what?
Them niggas, I think he was. They was from that era of like props. You got to have something like a cane, a patch, a top hat,
A Band-Aid.
a Band-Aid, a glove. Like
One of
you just
something.
wearing
One
weird
pants
shit.
leg
Yeah,
rolled
one-
up.
It was like something like apart, your eyebrow cut up. Like that shit. It was always like boy band rap.
It was a
bands.
certain look. Yeah,
you
you
gotta
had to
have
have
like
it.
some type of something that's like that
And
And
everybody
to me,
else
it's
wanna
like
do.
those were always the industry plants.
Yeah, because the industry was pushing them harder. Like, but they were
They
still
were
like,
able to mold those people into
yeah,
what they wanted.
Yeah, it's like you gonna be all right. We want. That's what a lot of people said about NWA or where they weren't like real gangster niggas, other than Easy being more of a hustler and not a super gangster nigga.
But that's why I feel like we had so many one hit wonders within our lifetime and shit like that is because
'Cause they wasn't
it
really
was
living the
they
shit.
wasn't authentic.
Yeah,
It
they
was the
wasn't living what they
industry.
was talking
Like
about.
look at Jaquan, right? I'm gonna use him as a perfect example.
I don't know who that is.
Everybody in the club get tipsy.
Oh, okay.
That shit.
Oh, I thought that was Chingy.
Exactly, because he was on. They wanted him to be
And that's his
Chingy.
name?
No, Chingy.
Jaquan.
Chingy. They was both from the same city.
Oh, okay.
And they came out. They were making him like a Chingy.
But they wanted to make him
Duplicate.
like a gangster version.
Yeah, a
and he
gangster
wanted to
shit.
make party music.
He wanted to make Chingy music.
His album was called Hood Hop,
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was like,
and he wasn't trying to be about
Yeah.
none of
and
that.
Jermaine
Like,
Dupri was producing most of his shit, like because he was on Arista, which was like.
but
Southern.
Jermaine Dupri was with Columbia.
And he was an A&R for a lot of what he was doing was just bringing young
Well,
talent.
Jermaine Dupri done been in the music industry
Yeah,
our whole
so
fucking
forever.
lives. This nigga was pop
That
locking in
nigga
the damn
signed
Houdini
Daz.
video.
That nigga signed Daz at a point and had Daz. That's why Daz is in the Tipsy video because Daz did a bunch of beats for.
I think Daz moved down there.
Yeah, and he because he
moved
was
to
working. He
Atlanta
was on
with
So
them
So
niggas,
Def,
yeah.
and then he was working with JT the Bigger Figure. Like he was doing like it's the industry when niggas is working, they gonna be working.
Yeah.
But no matter where they gotta go, but
Daz got credits on a lot of shit.
yeah,
That
this
niggas,
is-
yeah. That's a whole nother
So
story.
it's like so it's production, but that's what the production quality of like you ain't gonna be on no gangster shit with JD producing you,
Yeah.
and you doing some chingy shit.
JD is known for having like the kid acts,
Yeah.
Crisscross,
Mm-hmm.
Lil Bow Wow.
I heard
and-
like Naughty by Nature like jumped him or something like for like because supposedly he stole like the whole image for Chris Cross.
I don't know.
From Naughty by
Hopefully,
Nature.
hopefully, JD.
And I think when you look at
Jermaine
it, it is
Dupri,
like
hopefully
Jermaine
we can
Naughty
get
by
you up
Nature.
here to tell us the real story. 'Cause
No,
that's
for
what I'm
real,
looking
because
for.
all that other
And you can wear the
stuff-
flat top. You can wear the flat top if you come. That should be dope. He did because he had it for one video and took it off for the,
The
next.
video with
Currency.
with Currency.
But he took it off for the next video and they in the same clothes.
I'm like, my nigga, why you?
They in the same clothes though. Why would you do it? That's like we we do a podcast right now. We wearing this, and then I do a podcast, and I got a long dread wig, like, and then I'm just sitting here like, oh, like nothing's different, and then y'all ain't acting like nothing different.
Nah, I seen a dude get some extensions in his head and his dreads, and I couldn't believe it. I'm
That's
like,
cheating.
dude,
I had dreads long as fuck years ago, and cut them, and that's it.
But
just
it was
feels
all
like,
your hair.
Yeah, I felt like that's just cheating though. Like
but a guy getting extensions
that's
is kind
weird.
of like,
It's weird as fuck. Like you want to be cute that bad? Nigga?
yeah, like,
you trying to be
dude.
trying to be pretty.
Like,
This nigga trying to look good out in it. Just as a nigga that do that. Like you
Like, nigga, you
Come
sitting
out
up
the
and let
water.
somebody put weave in your hair though, my
no,
nigga.
for
Like,
real.
come
And you
on,
went
bro.
and bought the hair. That's what I'm concerned about. Because what are you doing? Talking about, let me
He
get you
was a
about
good
2
boy.
packs.
But then want to
He
talk
was
about
in
some
the-
other niggas. You
Yeah.
feel me? And like
He
how
was
they
in the
live their
color of-
life. You feel
okay,
me?
now what about Mystical? Mystical rocked the weave. He had those weave braids at first when he had them. When he had the Menace to Society, the Canes, the Old Dogs. You remember Mystical had to.
That's different.
That wasn't real.
Mystical gave us Shake Your Ass.
Rick
gave
James.
us Danger.
Rick James
gave us Mystical kind of gave us his contributions. Now, just to say, I don't really, respect what his extracurricular activities.
Booty
what
taking.
he do out. Yeah, that nigga be taking booty.
He be taking booty.
I don't really
Booty
respect
taker.
that. It's
Booty
like,
taker.
Booty taker. He's a
that nigga be taking
booty
shit. He be
thief.
strong arming the booty. Like,
I said, hot like
Come here.
Ion.
yeah.
Come
The
here,
shit he be
crazy.
talking about in his
Get
songs,
him
like he live that. That's why he keep going back to jail. But it's like, nigga, come on, you gotta stay out of jail. So
He like
in
it.
my hand.
Like, he really be doing that
Be
shit.
cool. That nigga, wow. That nigga is
my
like a
goodness.
confession. His music is a confessional.
That's what it is.
crazy.
These are his confessions.
He go out and do the shit and then right around when he get back, like, oh yeah, this is what I did tonight.
Yeah, I'm really about my life. Like,
I jumped through the door on a motherfucker with my dick in my
nah, that's crazy.
That nigga's wild.
What?
And then he's still in right now. I don't know how he keep getting out though. This is like the 7th case.
Of the same shit though.
Yeah.
It's like repeated.
And he's getting and they find him guilty.
And it's like, why y'all bitches not learning? Like, why
Yeah,
y'all
y'all
keep
still
fucking
going to
Like,
kick it
stay
with me.
away from him. Like,
oh, it's mystical, bitch. Look.
yeah, when you see him run, like, go the whole opposite way.
Like
'Cause
we
what?
going to a mystical show tonight. Why? Where
I would go to a mystical show. I would really, I like his
He gonna
music,
start- he
but I'm
gonna-
just saying, like, bro,
he
calm
at the
down,
whole
my
time he looking
nigga.
through the crowd, just pointing out motherfuckers.
Come
like,
backstage,
like
looking
you
ass.
get her, tell her. He pointing them motherfuckers her too. Bring those two. Keep those. Take those into the house. Bring her backstage.
Hey, bro, by all means, bro, mystical, I fuck with you, but it's like, bro, just
taking booty.
chill, my nigga. You
You
ain't gotta
taking
do all
booty.
that. You already mystical,
You
my
taking
nigga. It's
booty.
like we
Who
all
knows?
listen to your
Maybe
shit.
he was already a
Everybody-
booty taker before he was mystical. Maybe he was already a booty taker in New Orleans.
When he did Mind of Mystical, yeah, we gotta go back and
before
re-listen to that
musical.
first album.
Before
That Mind of
music.
Mystical, that's really gonna let us know who
before
he
music,
is.
this nigga could have been just a serial taker.
A serial booty taker.
Yeah, he before the music, like VH1 before the music, MTV.
Like we said earlier, people be having their own. You
King.
feel me? Own
You
thing
never really
going
know a
on.
person, That's why I say it'd be like the roommate and shit like that.
never
It's
know
like
what
you
they
really
gonna
gotta.
How's there the roommate?
never know
Exactly.
what
You
they
going to
gonna take.
rooftop T-girl parties.
That's just
Rooftop,
crazy.
like no one can hear you scream.
They doing like extravagant T-girl parties, though. They put it on the rooftop
The padded
with the
rooms
fancy
and
shit. You know?
Like,
They going all out for these.
Rubber,
motherfuckers.
plastic on the floors. Nigga. Before we get out of here, I watched the soul. Like speaking of, you were talking about deep dives earlier. That's like a thing I felt that's like big on YouTube now. In the last few years, it's like a lot of people that blew up just diving into just different stories of shit we know of and we heard of, rumors that turned out to be true, that turned out to just be rumors. And I kind of like that they had these channels or these people that can either expel a rumor or confirm this is what really happened.
Yeah.
And I just saw one yesterday morning, and I didn't even finish watching it. It's called The Weird World of P. Diddy. And they're diving into all his it's all his weird shit.
Yeah.
And I find it weird now, like it seems like he's always kind of like tap danced literally for like the other people.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like they're the ones kind of making money off of content and like eat his food now. Like he's a joke.
That's
And it's like, but they're all like, yeah, he has these parties, these $1.5
heard
million
about that.
parties. And then they had like a security guard or somebody that worked in his camp on Vice. This nigga's wearing like the Jabberwocky mask with a hoodie on with white gloves so you can't see who he is with all. And he's like, yeah, I did the parties. We'd go in with a black light. They have like pictures after some of these rooms.
Said a black light.
Like they go in some of these parties and there's fucking like blood on the floor, there's shit on the walls, there's semen on the ceilings.
Wow.
And they're looking.
But you know why? I think everybody in there doing like hardcore drugs.
Yeah.
And they
In
wilding
these
the fuck
parties,
out.
they wilding the
do
fuck
real
out.
drugs.
Motherfuckers is taking some shit that they can't control their bowels and shit. You know?
Oh my gosh, they be in there high off life and all
And just
type
getting
of
plowed,
stuff, just
sucking and fucking. No.
for real.
So yeah, it's just weird though. But we gonna wrap it up. So make sure you guys tap in. Follow me on IG at Tony Grams, TONY_GRAMS. It's innovative culture, innovative comedy. Make sure you follow them. Where can they find you?
Yes, thank y'all for having me. I definitely enjoy myself. Y'all
Super
can find
cool.
me on all socials, like I said, KBeautty with 2 T's.
All right, boom. And I'm Cool Ass Cam, the coolest motherfucker on the planet. Follow me at COOLAZZCAM. Tap in with Innovative Culture, www.theinnovativeculture.com. Follow us on Instagram at innovative.culture and subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/innovative culture. And we out of here.
Yeah.
Innovative comedy.